Hi guys, welcome to Marnie's TV Zealots. My name is Denise and my partner in crime is Mary. Mary, say hi.
Hi, so glad that you guys are here with us. We are going through Star Trek Discovery Season 2, Episode 8, If Memory Serves. Now, just right off the bat, previously on Star Trek, and it has the old look. It looks like the original series. You got old Spock, old Captain Pike on Talos 4, like the blue flowers that stop making sound when you touch them, and Spock smiling. It was beautiful. And then it cuts into our Pike, Discovery's Pike, and his, captain's log. Like, Discovery's never started like that before. I feel like this episode was so much fan service for the old heads.
I agree. It hit me in the feels.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the younger people that watch Discovery are like, oh, that's cute, whatever.
No, I feel like Star Trek fans, well, I don't know. Maybe they haven't seen all the series.
And this was the very first one. I feel like if you're going to be a Star Trek fan and you're not going to watch a lot of the original series, you at least should watch the very first episode. And that's what that was. So I did like it. I mean, I like a good amount of fan service. There was a nice amount in this episode as well. What did you think of Lena? Oh, I'm sorry, the human girl that fell in love with Pike.
Oh,
what do you think of her look?
No, I thought it was cute. I remember how she looked, and then they gave us that flashback to how she looked before. So it was like they look somewhat similar.
I think
but I thought she looked nice. I thought she looked
very 60s.
Yeah. For the times or whatever.
Yeah, I think they did a decent job on her. I wasn't looking for someone that looked exactly like the original actress. I mean, like, Pike is not the same Pike.
Exactly. No, I agree. But I'm just saying, I thought it was good for what they, had to do.
Right. I think they had like two little bitty moments together, and her and Pike, and I think their chemistry was really great. And I think that is a really good callback to the Christopher Pike that we see in the original series later when he's disfigured and, he's dying, and they just take him back to Talos 4 so he can live the rest of his days back with Lena again. So I thought that was really cute. Like the time that he got to see her in the in-between before he was, So let's jump into this episode. First and foremost, Emperor Georgiou is making plans, okay? Like, she's planning a mutiny of some kind. Now we know that they're developing a show where she's the star of it after season 3 of Discovery. Michelle Yeoh is going to be a star of a Star Trek show. So I think this is kind of the beginning of it. Any single thing that Leland says, she's like undercutting him. She's got a better answer, and the admirals are in a line talking to them. And she's like, so what do you think about this? And Leland's like, all right, I'm glad you asked. She's like, I'm sorry, I was talking to Georgiou. And I was like, oh.
Well, I knew she was going to say that because
yeah,
he let him go. Like, it's his fault. So
yeah, pretty much. I mean, we know that Georgiou let Michael take Spock away last week, but ultimately Leland is the one that's going to take the fall for
right.
it.
That's what I meant. Like, he's in charge. So,
and I'm kind of rooting for Georgiou just because they dropped the bomb that Leland had a hand in or made a mistake, and that mistake is what got Michael Burnham's parents killed. So I'm like, whatever. She can do whatever he wants to him because I would give him the business. Like, I'm okay with this. So in this episode, Discovery is tasked with picking up the remains of their 500-year-old probe and sifting through it and seeing what is left. They can't find any of it. And they are not allowed to look for Michael, which, let's get real, they're doing it on the side.
Right.
Which I love that. And sassy, like everybody's a little bit sassy in this episode, and I'm here for it. Giorgio, with her cup of coffee, she's like, let me know what you get. I gotta go. I'm busy.
I'm like, you sipping coffee, ma'am. You.
And then at the end of the episode, I feel like there has to be some people in the crew in Section 31 that's on her side. They might not be rooting for Michael or Spock or anything, but she's slowly getting people. Like, there's no way that Giorgio could be that sneaky in Section 31 without a little bit of help. And at the very end, when, again, Burnham and Spock, the two brightest minds of Starfleet right now, they tricked them into thinking that they were captured, but they weren't. And Burnham was like, say goodbye, Spock. And Spock was like, goodbye, Spock. It was so amazing. And Giorgio just walked off. She's like, I'm going to love watching you explain that to the admirals. And just like, bye. Her arc was so perfect. And so let's get into Dr. Culber. I was about to complain, like when they found him, I was like, everything's gonna be perfect. They're just gonna be like happy skipping through fields. I was like, I want drama. And now they're giving me this drama and I'm too sad. Like I'm not happy either way. So I apologize, Star Trek. Make me happy again. So Culber has like serious PTSD. He's got like all these emotions running through him, all these memories that he had, which made me kind of think like he's the Vogue of season 2. He's Ash Tyler season 2.
And that's why Saru let them fight, because he was like,
yes,
like they understand each other. They need to just.
Well, they need to understand each other.
Well, they do need to understand each other, but I'm saying like he knows that they each understand what the other is going through. Yeah. And so, because, Culber's like, I don't feel like myself. I don't even know who I am. And then Ash is like, pot, kettle? Like, what?
He's like, hello, I'm two people, literally. I loved, I hate to say this, but I really loved the fight. Because, Tyler could have easily have taken him out. I mean, he's already killed him once, And the fact that all Culber wants to do is feel something. He didn't even really want to fight Tyler, but he needed to hit something, Like, I feel like I've seen people like with that dissociative disorder where, my dad was in the Army. He was a chaplain. He worked with a lot of people like this where, they just be like irritable in a snap and then just like super sad and they want to be completely alone and then upset that you don't check on them. Like, and so like he is on a roller coaster, and Wilson Cruz played that so well, like, and Stamets, oh my God. And he was just like, it broke my heart. He's like, why are you so upset at me? Like, we haven't seen Dr. Culber these 9 months that he's been in the mycelial network or dead or whatever. we've seen Stamets grieving this whole time. Like super sad, depressed. He wants to leave Discovery. Like, you know, like we've known, like we've been with Stamets, with him trying to heal over his partner's death. And now that he's back, like I'm totally on Stamets' side about this. And I'm like, let him love you. But he's still not listening to Culber. Culber
Well, I
needs
mean,
help.
it's kind of hard. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's easier said than done. Like, you don't
exactly.
know any of that, and it's like at the end of the day, like I died. Y'all still walking around here with Ash on deck.
Yeah.
Like, how? How have you not killed him? You know, it's like
Yeah.
I'm just being real. Like, he killed, you know,
Oh yeah.
the love of your life. It's like, why is he still walking around breathing fresh air? Like,
Yeah. Stamets is still upset that he exists at all. And the fact that no one said anything to him about it, like there hasn't been a conversation with Stamets about Ash, I think is poor form for Discovery. I feel like we are way too woke to not be talking about this. You know what I'm
well, but
saying?
it's like business as usual. You know, this is the
Yeah.
shakedown. Like, look, them's the breaks, as they used to say a long, long time ago. Uh, you know, he was possessed. You know,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is what it is. We all have to move forward. We all have to move on.
That's
So,
true.
I mean, I don't see why they would be talking about it. Like,
Well, at least just to him.
I mean, he was assigned there, so it's not like
Yeah. They didn't really have
Pike
power over
wanted
that.
him off, but you know, they were like, "No, you stuck with him." So it's like,
That's
what is he
true.
to do? We
And
can't
one
sit
thing
around and debate this all day.
that's true. It's true. It's true. We could do this all day. I'm sorry.
No,
But
I
one
didn't mean towards you. I'm saying like that's their mindset. Not
but also we could do this all day. So either way. But one thing that I did notice that I thought was a nice little touch was the lunchroom, how Ash was still sitting alone by himself, like
yeah.
in season 1. And the second thing that I liked in the lunchroom was the little robots that came in to clean up the mess that they had made in the fight. It was the cutest thing. And now Colmet's, our ship, has been sunk. I don't know if it's permanent, but they are broken up. Culber does not want to go back to their apartment because he does not feel like it's his home anymore. And he does not want Stamets pursuing him romantically anymore. So we'll see what happens. And, you know, Stamets was called into the engineering room to, you know, engage the spore drive and go to Talos 4. So they were not able to keep talking about that. So one quick aside about Talos 4, or them going there, Arium has been sabotaging little things here and there on the ship. She finally got to the spore drive. Tilly said they run diagnostics every 10 hours. So she's been really busy sending out stuff in Tyler's name, messing up the spore drive, man. Tyler was the perfect person to pick to
Yeah,
frame.
I said that too. I was like, of course she picked Tyler.
Yeah.
He's the only person who they would distrust, you know, this much.
And they wouldn't want to like take a minute and investigate, be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Let's go back and look. They're like, oh, it's in Tyler's name, out of here. You know,
Right.
that's it. So that was really smart of her. And, you know, we see the 3 red dots again. She's still being communicated with or possessed or bugged or whatever. And in the next week on Star Trek, we do see this all come to a head finally, where Captain Pike is like, hey, where's Arium? And she's, you know, choking Michael to death. So can't wait to see how that happened. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go to Talos 4. The Vulcan part of Spock's mind is dying, basically, because he is not experiencing time in the way that we all experience it in a linear way from beginning to end. He is experiencing it as memories. And so things that will happen are a memory to him. And the logical part of himself is literally fighting the rest of him. So that's why he's been catatonic. He's been just like, eh. So one part that I did like was the illusion, saying it was a black hole when it was really the planet. And the Telosians woke Spock up so, he could get through the illusion, and he had to like smack Michael out of the way. I was like, then she like kicked him, and I was like, I would love to see them fight when they were kids. Just
Mm-hmm. I was like, this is so great. Let me pop some popcorn.
I feel like it's like just watching them manhandle each other. I don't know why, but I was like, yeah.
It was great.
Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so she sees that vision of the future. Spock tells her about his the 2 times that he came into contact with the Red Angel. The first time was, now the way he said it, he said, that the Red Angel was showing him a future, and like he was able to change it. So this is going to sound weird, but bear with me. I think that all the Star Treks and everything that we have seen was without the Red Angel. And now the Red Angel is from after Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, after all of that, comes back to young Spock's life and saves Michael Burnham. Why hasn't Spock ever said anything about Michael Burnham? Because she died when he was so little. He didn't grow up with a sister. She died when she got there, pretty much. So now that the Red Angel went back in the past and saved baby Michael, everything is different now. I don't know if I'm right, but I think that's what it is. So anyway, so the destruction. So if we're on the same timeline with, original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, how this world will end is in that destruction. The Red Angel's coming back from the future to change everything. So that end that they saw with all of their planets being obliterated will not happen. And that was something that was super, super heavy. And Michael's like trying to ask him questions, and Spock is just being like a B word, like to her. And he's like, why don't you ask me a question that I haven't thought of? And she's like, okay, well, did you actually think the beard was going to work for you?
When she said, I was like, yes, that's peak.
Sassy. Everybody in this episode was sassy. Like, I was here for it. So anyway, and the Telosians are these weird little entertain us people, like in the cage. I can't remember what it was, but they demanded like a childhood memory from Pike also. And so from Burnham, they want to see a childhood memory, but they want to see the memory that severed her familial connection with Spock. And Denise and I differ. Okay, you know what? I'll just tell you what happens first. But she basically is afraid that the Vulcan extremists, like in the J.J. Abrams movie with the kids calling him names and saying like, you're part human, you don't belong here, you don't deserve to be here. Michael is afraid that they're going to come after Sarek and his family because they have a human in their home. So she's going to run away, but Spock finds her. And, he's like, I want to come with you. And she's like, I don't want a little freak like you with me. Like, don't you see, like, you're awful. I hate you. Like, she calls him a half-breed, which was like a super, like, filthy term to me. Like, especially when we're talking about Spock, or like, racially. Like, I do feel like that's an ugly word, but for me, I thought it was going to be something else, and I felt let down at first. I did feel let down, like, that's it? She just called him a bad name? But also, when we see the scene, it goes back and forth between grown-up Michael and baby Michael, grown-up Spock and baby Spock. And to know that that was the same night that the Red Angel appeared to him, and he still saved Burnham anyway, like, I did feel the deep emotion in that, but I did feel like calling him like a half-breed, I was waiting for something a little bit more pivotal because they've been teasing it for so long, but I felt like it was anticlimactic. But I don't know. What did you think?
I feel like it was anticlimactic. I feel like she hit him where it hurt. Like, if, she did what she had to do, but at the end of the day, he understood. He understood why she was doing it.
Right.
And that's why he still saved her. Like, he knew she didn't hate him. He knew that they were close and that she loved him, or, whatever that emotional side that they've been trying to, beat out of him.
Right.
But he knew what it meant, and he knew she was trying to push him away to make him okay.
Right.
With them, with her leaving. But I feel like she said some terrible things to him, and like, it was the one thing she knew what to say because it was the one thing that would hurt him.
That's true.
It still kind of backfired because, like I said, he knew exactly what it was, but he let her be distant. So I'm more concerned with what else did she do,
right,
that she never went back and fixed it. You know what I mean? Like, it had to be more to it why their relationship is broken, because maybe he was waiting for her to get close to him, or she always kept a wall between them.
That's true. I'm really looking forward to more Spock and Burnham. Like, the two of them, like Ethan Peck and Sonequa Martin Green, are amazing together. It's only been like one full episode, and I'm just like in love with them. Like, they're so great on camera. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it.
They really have great chemistry.
They really do.
And if they weren't like calling each other brother, I would ship them, but brother and sister, so yeah.
We forgive you.
You know what? Y'all gonna stop, because every guy that traipsed through there, y'all ship them with Michael. I'm just saying they have really great chemistry. And had they not been siblings, I may.
Ooh, oh man, we learn new things about each other every day. So anyway, let's just wrap up this episode. So Discovery comes to Talos 4 with Section 31 hot on their heels. And they both try to beam them up. And Lena appears to Pike one last time, and she's like, let your friends go. This is for the best. And he, tells Awoka-san to take their lock off of them. And so Spock and Burnham are beamed onto the Section 31 ship. And that's when they tricked them, because the Telosians just made an image of them to be beamed up. So like, goodbye, Spock. And so they fly the shuttle into the Discovery, and they realize that now they're on the run. They have a fugitive of the law on their ship now. Michael Burnham's in trouble for the second time.
She's just won't do right.
Right. And so Pike is getting ready to do his big speech. You know, he's like, you know, everybody in Starfleet, I just want you to know that and Detmer is like, what's your course, Captain? We're with you. And,
Like, you
and
don't have to
Michael's
talk
like,
us into it.
I think you have the crew. Let's just go. And so I can't wait to see what's going on and who Arium is communicating with. If it's something as simple as she's been like bugged by Section 31 and she's sending Section 31 information, it's like how else would they have found them unless they have like something on Ash Tyler? Because he hadn't communicated with them except for with Georgiou. So I don't know. I love this mystery. It's not like, oh, they didn't tell it right. It's like they're giving us like little breadcrumbs that's gonna come through in the next couple episodes. So I liked it. So that was my review.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching and have a great night. Bye.